Let's take a look at our first lesson of systems of equations. And today we're going to be talking about the substitution method specifically. What are systems of equations? Well, systems of equations are two or more linear equations, and we're going to be given those and then asked to solve for both variables. In the past, we were just solving for one of the variables, but now we're going to be solving for both of them. Let's look at our types of solutions that we can have. Since we're going to be given two equations, those can be put on a graph as a line. So some of our equations, the two equations, might meet at a point, and that will be our solution. That point, that x and y coordinate, will be our solution, and the graph would end up looking something like this. And we will have only one solution, and we will call that independent. We might have two equations that look like this. So they're parallel. That means that they never meet at any point. So we don't have any solutions. And then we might have equations that are the exact same line. So that means that they have infinite many solutions because they meet at every single point on both of their lines. And we'll call that dependent solutions. All right, let's look at an example. So like I said, this is what you're going to be given. Negative 4x plus 4y equals 0. Negative 2x plus 5y equals 6. And we need to find out what x and y are. Again, we're using the substitution method. So these are going to be your steps for the substitution method. So step one, solve one of the equations for a variable. You can choose either one. I'm going to choose this top one, and I'm going to solve it for y. So I got to get y on one side by itself. Right now, it's being added to, or subtracted to 4x, and then it's being multiplied by 4. So let's get rid of that 4x, put it on the other side by adding 4x to each side. Then I'm left with 4y equals 4x. I need to get rid of that 4. I'm still trying to get y by itself. So I'm dividing both sides by 4. And I am left with y equals x. That is my solved for one variable. I've solved for y equals x. So now I move on to step 2. And I'm going to substitute what we just found, that y equals x, into the second equation. So my second equation is negative 2x plus 5y equals 6. So I'm substituting, I'm replacing the y with what we found, which is the x. And then step 3, I'm going to solve for that variable. So we put it in. Now we're solving for it. So negative 2x plus 5y, I can combine those terms because my exponents on my x are the same. So negative 2 plus 5 is 3 equals 6. I'm multiplying the x by the 3, so I need to do the opposite by dividing both sides by 3. So x equals 2. Moving on to step number 4. I'm going to, again, substitute the answer I just found into either original equation to find my other variable. So we found that x equals 2, but I still need to know what y actually is. So I can put it into either one of those first two equations. I'm going to put it in the first one. No rhyme or reason to why I put it in there. So negative 4x times 2 plus 4y equals 0. Now I'm going to solve for my y. So negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. So negative 8 plus 4y equals 0. I'm still trying to get y by itself. So I'm adding both 8 on both sides to get 4y equals 8. It's being multiplied by 4, so I'm dividing both sides by 4. Y also equals 2. Okay. This is the fifth and final step, and it's important. You need to check your answer. So we found that x equals 2 and that y equals 2. We need to make sure that's actually true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug my answers into the equation I did not use in the step above. So in the step above, to find y, I used the first equation. So this time I'm going to use the second equation, and I'm going to plug in my x and y and see if it equals. So negative 2 times 2 plus 5 times 2, because the x and y were both 2, equals 6. So I'm going to see if that left-hand side equals that right-hand side. So negative 2 times 2 is 4, or negative 4, and 5 times 2 is 10. Negative 4 plus 10 equals 6. Our right-hand side equals 6. 6 equals 6. So this is our solution. And we're going to write it as coordinate points. 2 as our x, and then 2 as our y. All right. Now is your opportunity to show me what you can do. Let me know when you have questions on solving these systems of equations.